Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Wok with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Over the years, a number of viewers has asked me about the use of an induction burner. Now, I became first familiar with the induction burners about 20 years ago when I was doing a sabbatical in Shanghai. I lived in a small apartment, and all they have in the kitchen is an induction burner. That was the first time I came across induction burner, and I started using it. In the beginning, I was not quite sure this is something that I will get accustomed to, because this is very different from cooking with a gas burner, which I have been cooking for a long time, or an electric burner, which I also have some experience with. Now, an induction burner is basically is a transfer energy using a magnetic field. And this magnetic field is under the burner, and it causes the atoms in the any iron-containing cookware to undergo rotation. And the end result of the rotation is generate energy. And this will heat up the pot. However, this means that you have to use a cooking utensil that contains iron. In this case, such as a cast iron, a carbon steel, or a stainless steel that contains certain type of magnetic molecules in the cookware. Now, I then purchased a induction cooktop, and this induction cooktop turned out to fit very well with my Cuisinart 14-inch stainless steel wok. This is relatively inexpensive, and I had it for a while. I just haven't had time to really fully test it out. And then recently, I came across a viewer. He told me that he has been using an induction burner for stir-frying. And then about a couple of days ago, I received an email from another viewer. She actually is going to cook with an induction burner. And she asked me what kind of wok that would be best for this purpose. And for this reason, I decided I'm going to try it out with my Cuisinart 14-inch stainless steel wok, which is designed also for use on an induction burner. Now, the Cuisinart 14-inch stainless steel wok work very well for this purpose because it fits the induction cooktop perfectly, because the bottom surface of the Cuisinart 14-inch stainless steel wok is relatively large. So it just has the right dimension for fitting where the magnetic field will be located in the induction burner. Now, there are a couple of questions that I have in mind. One of the questions that other people have asked me is that, is the induction burner going to generate enough heat for stir-frying? Because most people are under the impression is that you need a lot of heat for stir-frying. So I decided I'm going to give it a try. The first thing is that I want to see whether I can use the induction burner to season the wok using my spot seasoning method. Now, in order for the spot seasoning method to work, I need to be able to heat up the oil close or right at its smoking point, which is about 450 degrees Fahrenheit. This will cause the oil to smoke gently, and then I let it to smoke about 15 seconds, and this is the time when the wok is being seasoned. Now, most induction burners are able to heat up the temperature up to 575 or even 600 degrees Fahrenheit. So, based on this, I should have no problem able to heat up the oil to its smoking point. And the end result is that it is totally no issue at all. In fact, it heat up the oil much quicker than my flat top electric burner. And it took only about somewhere between 60 to 75 seconds. Of course, the test is that whether I can cook an egg, or in this case, whether I can cook an egg omelet without the egg stuck to the bottom surface of the wok. Now, induction burner has a lot of wonderful advantage, and this is particularly in a place that whether the kitchen maybe do not have a lot of space, and for safety reasons, for example, for people who do not want to risk of a fire like in a gas stove, or do not want to get burned on the surface of the stove. Because with the induction burner, first of all, there is no open flame. And secondly, is that the surface of the induction burner is not hot. The only thing that is hot is the pot, because the energy transferred directly to the cookware. So from that standpoint, it is a safer cooking surface probably than any other cook surface. However, one concern many people have is that will an induction cookware be hot enough for stir frying? Now, in this case, I am cooking this egg omelet, and first of all, I want to see whether it will create a non-stick cook surface with a stainless steel wok. And as you can see in here, I do not have much problem at all. In fact, I was quite surprised and very pleased to know that the method that I use, the spot seasoning method, which I use for season a stainless steel wok or a carbon steel wok or a cast iron wok for that matter, I have no problem. In fact, you can see the egg omelet have no problem in sticking to the surface of the wok. And that is something that to me is very important. For me, this induction burner has passed the test, at least in the case for creating a non-stick cook surface for a stainless steel cookware. And from that standpoint, I think it is definitely something worthwhile to consider. Okay, now next I'm going to test using this to cook actually a stir-fry dish. I'm going to use my stir-fry vegetable template to create a vegetable medley. Now, a vegetable medley requires to use many different kinds of vegetables. And again, the heat is essential, at least during the initial stage when I stir-fry different vegetables, because this is the time when I want the oil to be hot enough so that it will allow the Medley reaction to take place, which is a chemical reaction that allows the molecule on the surface of food ingredients to become flavor molecule. And in this process, you want to make sure the oil is hot enough for the stir-frying process. But it doesn't have to be very hot. Now, one concern people have with the induction cookware is that because the heat is only located directly underneath the surface that comes into contact with the burner, because that is where the magnetic field is, and it causes the molecule on the surface of the cookware to spin, and this spinning is result in generating of heat. So in this case, in stir frying, which means that the side of the wok will not be hot. Well, first of all, I want to dispel the common notion, which is incorrect, is that in stir fry, you need to heat up the entire wok, including the side wall of the wok. And it turned out to be that is not the case at all, because in stir frying, the main emphasis is really in the center portion of the wok, because you constantly stir fry the food ingredients, and so all the cooking action actually only take place in the center of the wok. So from this standpoint, you do not need to heat up the side of the wok at all. Now, in the case if you use a wok stove, yes, the side of the wok will be heated up as well, because the flame will basically envelope the entire wok. Now, this only happens in professional kitchen, which also allow food to be cooked very quickly. But in home cooking situation, that is not necessary. All you have to do is to able to stir fry the content regularly and proficiently. And in this case, all the food ingredients will cycle through the center portion of the wok. And this is when the cooking takes place. Under these circumstances, you do not have to worry about the heating the surrounding side of the wok. Now, because of this reason, induction cooktop might be perfect for this purpose, because all the heat are concentrated in the bottom surface of the wok. And so as long as you keep everything stirred on a regular basis, you will be able to cook everything efficiently. As shown in this example, I have no problem in cooking this vegetable medley dish. In fact, the process of cooking this dish is not that much different from if I have cooked this dish under a gas top burner or under a electric top burner. The end result is that the content of the ingredients cook very much almost exactly the same way. The induction cooktop has increased greatly in popularity. In fact, now you can buy an induction cooktop range. In fact, the entire range will have induction cooktops. They will have several different burners on the surface of the range. But however, of course, the oven is still electric. You cannot yet create an induction oven yet. So consequently, I do see a lot of possibilities with induction cooking. And I think one of the main benefits of induction cooking is that you can, without using the gas cooktop, which now increasingly has known to cause pollution problem. It also releases greenhouse gases, which can be responsible for enhancing the process of climate change. So for this reason, I do think induction cook range is definitely something for the foreseeable future. Now, induction cook range, in my mind, is quite similar to electric cook range. Electric cooktop has the similar mechanism in terms of how it just heat up the pot. But however, induction has another advantage that electric cooktop does not have, is that the heat control in an electric cooktop is far more difficult, because you can shut off the heat to an electric cooktop, but the heat will persist for quite some time, and so it will continue to heat up whatever content that you have in your cookware, in this case in the wok. So quite often you need to remove the cookware in order to prevent food from being overcooked. But this is not much of a problem with an induction cooktop, because you can't turn it off and it will shut off the heat immediately. So I really enjoy using this induction cooktop, and I think with this demonstration, I can almost tell you that you will find no difficulty to stir fry in an induction cooktop. And in fact, I think the popularity of using induction cooktop recently also seemed to be spurred by a induction cooktop designed specifically for stir frying, because it have a curved surface, and this will allow heat to be transferred around at least to some level up the side of the wok. So I hope that this video you find it to be useful and give you some idea whether this is a type of cooktop that you would like to adopt. If you live in a small apartment, or you have a small kitchen, you want to have something that is simple, quick, then an induction cooktop probably is an excellent choice. Then in the future, I will use my induction cooktop more often and provide more videos to demonstrate how to apply an induction cooktop in different type of a stir-fry situation. So keep on cooking. I will see you tomorrow.